This is Phil Lanides, the San Jose MMA Examiner, and this is Vlog 4. I haven't done a vlog in a couple weeks, so we'll see if I still know what I'm doing. I want to cover a couple events, and then we're going to call it a day here. But on Friday, I went to the Placer County State Fair in Roseville, California, which is right outside Sacramento. Me and my fiance and a bunch of friends went. Had a pretty good time. It was good. And there was a Gladiator Challenge event there that night called Validation, which I've profiled on my page in the days leading up to the event. And it took place, it was the main event of the fair itself. There was about 3,500 screaming fans there. It was really well attended. The crowd was really hot. It was just really, really good time. The weather was really, really hot too, so it kind of probably contributed to that. The main event saw Dave Huckabee, the former Gladiator Challenge heavyweight champion, taking on Rick Randolph. And Huckabee, he's an Elite XC veteran. I believe he's 11-3, 10 TKO KO wins, I think. I mean, the guy's very vicious, got his own gym, very strong guy. Actually, when I got there, he was getting on the Ferris wheel, and I waved to him, and he said, "Just spend some family time," and I was like, "You better not get hurt." But anyways, he came out, and the place was just going crazy for Huckabee. I mean, they were chanting, "Huckabee, Huckabee," and the place just absolutely loved him. And then contrast when the champion came out, Rick Randolph, and the crowd started booing him, and me and a couple of friends I was with felt kind of bad, so we started chanting, "Other guy, other guy." But we chanted it pretty quietly because I was somewhat concerned for our safety if we were found out not to be Huckabee fans. But it was a great fight back and forth. Most of the people around me felt that Randolph won the first round. I agreed. His wrestling, he was taking down Huckabee and doing some damage. But in the end, Huckabee outweighed him by 30 pounds. It was just too much for him. And in the second round, you could tell that Randolph had really spent a lot of energy. And Huckabee just kept coming stronger and stronger and ended up getting the TKO win. And the place just exploded. So Gladiator Challenge has a new heavyweight champion. For the second time, it's Dave Huckabee, and I see him holding on to the belt for a while. He's a really good fighter, and I see big things for him in the future as well. Now, also, we had the Lashley versus Sapp Ultimate Chaos card, and that took place last night in Biloxi, Mississippi, and we're just going to hit a few of the fights, not all of them. Tom Atencio, I don't know if he's not the owner, but he basically runs the Affliction promotion, fought some guy that I've never heard of, and pretty back and forth action it was pretty much back and forth action, and Atencio ended up getting the win when his opponent could not come out for the third round. Now, Dana White really disparaged Atencio about him fighting, and just says, "I don't want to waste my time on this guy." I do have to give it to Atencio that he stepped in the ring, or stepped in the cage, and got to see what it was like. He's fought once before, so this was actually his second time fighting. And he was saying he doesn't think he'll fight again. But I do have to give him some respect for having the guts to step into the cage. Also, Chris Horodecki, the Affliction IFL veteran, got the first round rear naked choke victory over California product William Sriapai. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. But he got the rear naked choke victory. Looked really, really good, and a good experience for William. But Chris just overwhelmed him, and we'll be seeing him fight in Affliction next. Next was Gilbert the Hurricane Ivel taking on Pedro Hizo in the co-main event of the evening, and only lasted a couple minutes. And they ended up on the ground, and Ivel ended up just blasting Hizo with right hands and putting him out cold. And to his credit, he showed some concern after the fight, but the Rock, Pedro the Rock, was able to get up and walk out under his own power. And then Ivel announced that in his next fight, the Hurricane will be taking on the Headhunter, as Ivel and Paul Buentello, who trains with American Kickboxing Academy in San Jose, will be facing each other at the Affliction event on August 1st, which is headlined by Fedor and Josh Barnett. And in the main event, former pro wrestling phenom, WWE ECW champion Bobby Lashley took on the ginormous Bob Sapp, and as many had predicted, Lashley took Sapp down right away, just like that, and ended up getting the submission by strikes victory over just a very overmatched, overwhelmed Bob Sapp. So the question is, Lashley moves his record up to 4-0. He's going to be fighting for MFC, Maximum Fighting Championships, in the fall, and for XFC, Extreme Fighting Championships. He recently fought for MFC. He's going to be fighting for XFC. And so the question is, when does Strikeforce, when does Affliction, when does the UFC come calling to this guy who obviously has a lot of potential as a legitimate, real fighter? And I'm very impressed with him so far, but he has yet to, he's only 4-0, and so he's still got a ways to go, but I think he's going about it the smart way by kind of incrementally growing and not trying to do too much too fast. So anyways, I want to thank you for joining the San Jose MMA Examiner. Thank you for watching Vlog 4, and we'll see you soon.